and Professor Nishino Junya from the Keio University on the Japan's foreign and security policy toward the Korean Peninsula. Okay, please.
Thank you, Professor Fan. First of all, I want to express my gratitude to Korean Political Science Association and the Uni-Korea Foundation for organizing this session and inviting me as a panelist. Today, I will present my paper on Japan's foreign and security policy toward the Korean Peninsula, focusing on Japan's North Korea policy framework, the evolution of trilateral cooperation, and the future policy challenges. The Korean Peninsula occupies a central position in Japan's security calculations. While my full paper examines the historic foundation of Japan's Korea policy, given our time constraint, I will concentrate on three critical dimensions. Number one, Japan's three-pillar approach to North Korea. Number two, the development of Japan-US ROK trilateral cooperation. And number three, emerging policy challenges and the new political leaderships. So let me begin with Japan's North Korea policy, which has been structured around three fundamental pillars since the 1990s. This framework has shown consistency despite changing administrations and evolving regional dynamics. The first pillar is engagement. Japan has consistently pursued normalization with North Korea, viewing this as essential for regional stability. The most significant achievement was Prime Minister Koizumi's historic visit to Pyongyang in September 2002. The resulting Pyongyang Declaration appeared to be a breakthrough, with North Korea admitting to abducting Japanese citizens and agreeing to a comprehensive framework for normalization. However, the summit aftermath revealed deep challenges. Disputes over unsolved abductees and North Korea's nuclear programs undermined the normalization process. Japan attempted another breakthrough in 2014 with the Stockholm Agreement, where North Korea agreed to investigate all Japanese nationals in exchange for partial sanction relief. This too failed to produce concrete results. Parallel to engagement, Japan has employed comprehensive pressure tactics. The abduction issue became paramount in Japan's policy after 2002, with family association, media coverage, and the Blue Ribbon campaigns creating sustained domestic pressure for resolution. Japan's sanction regime has evolved into one of the most comprehensive globally, including trade restriction that eliminated bilateral commerce, financial sanction targeting North Korean entities, travel bans and port entry restriction, and asset freeze linked to weapons programs. Japan has also been a leading advocate for international pressure through the United Nations Security Council, actively supporting successive rounds of sanctions. Third pillar involves enhancing defense capabilities. North Korea's advancing nuclear and missile programs have driven significant changes in Japan's defense posture. This includes strengthening the US-Japan alliance specifically for North Korean contingencies, developing indigenous capabilities like ballistic missile defense system, and pursuing trilateral security cooperation. Trilateral security cooperation has evolved gradually but steadily since the late 1990s. The initial catalyst was the North Korean nuclear crisis of 1993 to 1994, which demonstrated the need for coordinated responses. The Trilateral Coordination and Oversight Group, or TCOC, established in 1999, marked the first institutionalization of three-way coordination. While its effectiveness varied with political climate, TCOC established important precedents for cooperation. But military cooperation faced significant obstacles given historical sensitivities between Japan and South Korea. The progress required careful diplomatic management. A significant milestone came in December 2014 with the Trilateral Information Sharing Agreement, or TISA, regarding North Korean threat. This established a mechanism for sharing intelligence through the United States as an intermediary, avoiding direct Japan-ROK military intelligence cooperation, while enabling practical coordination. The acceleration of North Korea's program in the mid-2010s created new urgency. We saw increased frequency of trilateral exercises, enhanced missile defense cooperation, and regular defense ministerial meetings. The August 2023 Camp David Summit represents a watershed moment in dealing with North Korean military threat. The outcome went beyond previous agreement in crucial ways. First, real-time missile warning data sharing. Building on the November 22 Phnom Penh joint statement commitment, the three nations operationalized a system that became operational the end of 2023, significantly enhanced collective defense capabilities. Second, regularized joint exercises. The commitment to annual named multi-domain exercise marked a shift from ad hoc to institutionalized coordination. The Freedom Edge exercises in 2024 demonstrated this approach, incorporating naval, air, and cyber components. Third, cyber cooperation. Recognizing North Korea's growing cyber capabilities, a working group was established that has met regularly since 2023, addressing both traditional threats and North Korea's cyber operation for revenue generation. So now let me turn to the critical challenges facing this framework going forward. The return of Trump administration this year introducing significant uncertainties. Based on his first term, we anticipated several challenges. First, potential US-DPRK dialogue. Trump's expressed interest in resuming dialogue with Kim Jong-un could complicate trilateral coordination. Previous Trump-Kim summit demonstrated how bilateral engagement could sideline allied concern. Japan's abduction issue and South Korea's inter-Korean agenda may not align with Trump's focus on interacting with Kim or limited arms control. Second, alliance management challenges. Trump's transactional approach and the burden sharing demands could strain both alliances, indirectly affecting trilateral cooperation if allies compete for US attention and resources. Third, exercise modifications. If US-DPRK dialogue resumes, there may be pressure to modify joint exercises, as occurred previously, directly impacting the regularized trilateral exercises established after the Camp David Agreement. The change in South Korean leadership also introduced a new dynamics. While the new Lee Jae-myung administration has indicated support for maintaining trilateral coordination, we must carefully watch for, number one, potential shift toward a greater engagement with North Korea. Number two, domestic pressure regarding Japan relations. And number three, challenges of balancing US alliance commitment with inter-Korean initiatives. Given these dynamics, I will propose several recommendations for Japanese policy. First, strengthen policy coordination mechanisms. With new administration in Washington and Seoul, Japan should prioritize reinvigorating trilateral coordination framework. Second, expanding the trilateral cooperation to a new horizon across domains and across the Indo-Pacific and beyond, which is one of the greatest significance of the Camp David Agreement. It would be desirable for Japan and South Korea to cooperate in advancing steady support for global South countries in the Indo-Pacific region, even without US participation. Third, strengthen bilateral Japan-ROK ties. Given their relative fragility compared Japan-US and ROK-US alliance, Tokyo should prioritize relationship with Seoul. Prime Minister Ishiba's positive attitude towards South Korea and the 60th anniversary of our normalization in 2025, this year, present opportunities. Recent surveys provide ground for sustainable Japan-ROK ties. The June 2025 Yomiuri Shimbun and Hankuk Ilbo joint survey showed over 80% support in both countries for strengthening trilateral security cooperation. And 71 of Japanese and 63 of South Koreans support enhanced bilateral defense cooperation. However, sustaining public support requires, number one, clear communication about cooperation benefits. Number two, sensitivities to security historical concern while emphasizing shared interest and tangible benefit citizens can recognize. And number three, managing nationalist pressure in both countries. In conclusion, Japan's Korea Peninsula policy reflects complex interactions of history, geography, and evolving security dynamics. Three-pillar approach to North Korea has shown both resilience and adaptability. Trilateral coordination, cooperation, culminating at Camp David, represent a significant achievement in overcoming security obstacles. However, this framework faces a new test with administration changes and evolving regional dynamics. Success requires balancing multiple imperatives. Number one, maintaining alliance cohesion while pursuing national interest. Number two, addressing historical legacies while building future-oriented partnership. And number three, managing immediate threat while working toward a long-term stability. The 60th anniversary of Japan-ROK normalization in this year offered an opportunity for renewal. By building on recent progress and adopting new challenges, Japan can and should contribute to a more stable Korean Peninsula, serving all regional stakeholders' interests. As East Asia navigates strategic competition and power transition, Japan's principled yet flexible approach, contributing to both deterrence and dialogue, can help create conditions for eventual peaceful resolution while ensuring interim security and stability. I stop here. Thank you for attention.